when I parked, my odometer says 777 at the end. That means I am meant to be here, even though I didn't really feel like it, because I'm like, it's a Monday. What am I gonna talk about? And usually I just talk about whatever pops into my head and go with the flow. What came up to me was learning how to filter out the bullshit, because there is so much bullshit that we are bombarded with every single day, because we are living in this human experience. But it's not about not having any bullshit in our life. It's filtering out which ones matter to us so that we can focus on the person that we want to be, the life that we want to have, where we're going. And if our focus is on this bullshit and that doesn't even matter and is just rerouting us to a destination that is bringing us further from the path that we want to be in, then we may be ticking these all off in our to-do list, tasks, whatnot, and feel as though we're doing and getting somewhere. But in the grand scheme of things, we're actually staying in the same place, but we feel as though we're moving but not actually moving the needle. So one of my past mentors, who I still hold dearly in my heart, said that we need to focus on moving the needle to things that actually push us to where we want to go. There are people running and I'm just like, yes, go. Yeah, like that. Like, we can think about running all the time and read all the books about running, watch the YouTube videos, and also journal about how much we want to run and meditate on, like, okay, this is how it's gonna feel like when we're gonna run. But nothing is actually gonna change until you put on those sneakers and go for a run. Because we can only conceptualize so much, but part of the manifestation process, or if others don't believe on the manifestation process, is bringing your prayers into fruition, is that we need to implement it in the physical realm, because we can't just think about it in the spiritual realm and or intellectually all the time and think that it's just going to fall into our laps, or that magically some puppeteer is going to make us run. It is us, the internal source of motivation, or even if we don't have the motivation, the internal source of will and that vision that we have for ourselves. That's our responsibility to fulfill. That's why it's ingrained in us to want and desire these things. It's not bad to want and desire to be better and to improve, to even have more. It's not. It's the notion that we're simply entitled to what we want. And of course, let's have nuance, because everybody's life paths are different and everybody has different privileges. Okay, so we're not gonna go down that path of, well, some people have it easier than others and whatnot. Yes, we all have different privileges, and that's not what we're gonna focus on. Then that's also focusing on the wrong bullshit. What's that going to do, and what's that going to change about the cards that you've been dealt with? And is that gaining you any closer, or are you just in a pit stop and keep on reading the signs of where to go and it's telling you the same way, go this way, and you're just like, no, I want to go the other way? And this is coming from someone who is stubborn as hell, and I'm sharing this all because to learn a lesson, sometimes I have to take the long route and all the hard freaking challenges and detours and all of that. So I'd rather, if even if it's one person or even just to my past self, say, hey, it's okay to go forward even when you don't know all the answers, and it could be messy, it could feel scary, you feel unsure, you're not like all the way in, because you don't need to be 100% sure, and you don't need to be 100% healed or have all the answers in order to start, because sometimes starting and going through it, we start to filter out what works for us. And sometimes that is like trying different blueprints that, let's say, we find YouTube videos or mentors or coaches or whatnot that gives us different ways, and we don't take those ways as the blueprint and the only way. Just like me myself talking to you right now is not the only way to see and or get to where you're at. It's just one way. When you find your own way, that's the most beneficial and most in tune to you, that will work. But sometimes that means finding and trying out all the different ways and then modifying it and adjusting the settings so that it works for you. I know that this may seem very broad, but I know that the people that are called to this vortex understands what I mean, because I feel like the best mentors in my life are the ones that don't give me the answers, but definitely just remind me that the answers are already within myself, and I have to, going back to the bullshit analogy, filter out the bullshit and focus on the things that actually matter. So I hope that this helps anyone out there who is feeling as though they don't know where to start, or maybe they just wanted some grounding and feel sane in this feeling that feel that it could be a little bit overwhelming on what to do, where to go in this personal development journey. But all of that is part of the journey, and in it, it's a beautiful time to be, because you are in the midst of creating yourself, and know that you are so freaking worthy. Filter out the bullshit that tells you otherwise, because that is not serving you, will never serve you. However, that also doesn't mean don't like go inwards, and you could explore it and rewrite it and be like, where did this come from? But not in a way where it becomes your self-identity, because who you are is so expansive, so big, and you are so much more than you can imagine. I believe in you, even if maybe right now some of you don't believe in yourselves. I believe in you, and know that you are not alone. We are in this together, figuring it out through the bullshit, and you got this. Love you.